morning, Sai Ramchandran. Children, welcome you all in this biology video. As we have finished our previous chapter, Improvement in Food Resources, today I am going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. So let's start this chapter. We all know that the bodies of living organisms are made up of microscopic units called cells. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organisms. Cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He observed that honeycomb compartment-like structures in a cork slice with the help of a microscope, and he called these compartments as cells. Here you can see the diagram of cells. You can see here what we are having here. We are having the honeycomb structure. You can see this type of structure. This is called honeycomb structure, and small compartment. These compartments were named as cells by Robert Hooke. Children, the organisms, according to their cell numbers, they can be divided into different ways. Here we are defining organisms in two ways. First one is unicellular organisms. These are the organisms which have only one cell in their body. Examples of unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium, bacteria. And the second type of organisms are multicellular organisms. These are the organisms which have many cells. Examples are fungi, plants, animals, etc. Now here in this figure you can see that examples of unicellular organisms. Here we are having amoeba. This is amoeba, euglena, paramecium and bacteria. All these are unicellular organisms because their body is made up of only one cell. Now the second diagram is showing the examples of multicellular organisms. Here you can see insects, human beings, plants. These are given here as their body is made up of many cells. Now the next topic is prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are the organisms which have primitive and incomplete cells. They lack nuclear membrane around their nucleus. Examples are bacteria, blue-green algae. Eukaryotes. These are the organisms which have advanced and complete cells. They have nuclear membrane around their nucleus, like plants, animals, etc. Now children, here I am showing you the diagram in which you are able to see the eukaryotic cell and the prokaryotic cell. You can see in this prokaryotic cell, which we are taking as primitive cell, here the organelles are present, but they are not having, their nucleus is not bounded by the membrane. All the organelles are moving without any boundary. And in case of eukaryotic cell, you can see different organelles are there, and they are having and their nucleus is having a boundary. It is having a boundary around which the organelles are moving. So this is the example of, this is the figure of eukaryotic cell, and this is the figure of prokaryotic cell. After this, we are having cell shape. The shape of the cell may be variable. The different shapes of cell may be spherical, spindle shaped, elongated, branched or polyhedral, etc. Now in this diagram you can see different shapes of cell. You can see here we are having red blood cell. You can see the shape of red blood cell. Then we are having nerve cell. Then we are having muscle cell which are in spindle shape. So different cells are there. Some are in spherical shape and some are in different ways. Cells are there. So in this way we can conclude the cells can be of different shapes. Cell size. The cells have different sizes. Some cells are so small that they are not visible to the naked eyes, like bacteria. And some cells are very large, like ostrich. And children, here I want to tell you one thing, that the smallest cell is Mycoplasma gallisepticum. It is the smallest cell known. Here you can see the diagram in which you will be able to see the different types of cells which are having different sizes. You can see here we are having a typical plant cell, and for this cell we are having the size in between 10 to 100 microneutron. Hen's egg is 65 millimeters long. Then we are having Chlamydomonas, that is 5 to 6 micrometers. Then human red blood cells, they are 7 to 8 micrometers. In this way we are having different lengths of different cells. Now cell structure. The three features present in almost every cell are plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. It means whichever kind of cell is present, these three features are present in each and every cell. Now plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is a living, thin, delicate, elastic membrane which contains a fluid called cytoplasm. Plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some selected materials in and out of the cell. So it is called the selectively permeable membrane. The movement of substances like carbon dioxide or oxygen gases, these take place into the cell through cell membrane by diffusion process. And the movement of water takes place through plasma membrane by osmosis process. Now children, now you can see here what is diffusion and osmosis. In diffusion, what is happening here? The solute is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. And in case of osmosis, the solvent, the liquid is moving from lower to higher concentration. Now I am explaining osmosis. Osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane to a region of low water concentration. Osmosis process can be of various types, and on the basis of that we can categorize solutions in three ways. First is hypotonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has a higher water concentration than the cell, then the cell will gain water by osmosis, and this type of solution is called hypotonic solution. Isotonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has exactly the same water concentration as the cell, then the type of solution is isotonic solution, and in this case there is no overall movement of water. Third one is hypertonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has lower concentration of water than the cell, then the type of solution is hypertonic solution, and in this case the cell will lose water by osmosis. Now children, here I am showing you picture diagram in which you can see the different types of solutions we are taking here. In hypertonic solution case, what is happening? The concentration is high, so if you are keeping any resin, if you are taking resin, then it will get shrink. In case of isotonic solution, what will happen? There will not be any kind of movement of water, so the thing will remain as it is. And in case of hypotonic solution, when the concentration is low, then what will happen? Then the resins will get swelled up. After completing all these topics, I am giving you an assignment which is having some questions like: who discovered the cell? Name the basic structural unit of life. Name two unicellular organisms. what are prokaryotes, define osmosis process. Now children, giving you all these notes in this video, and you will write down all these notes which are given in this video in your peer notebook. Complete all your peer notebook work. Thank you, Saira.